Welcome back, everybody, to the Titan Center podcast. I am your host, Gabe Dunn, and of course, I am here with
Tom Bragg, field operative and senior analyst.
that is right, or you can also recognize him as your co-host for the show. Today is just going to be us two. The last couple of shows that we've had multiple guests joining us, one guest or two or even maybe three. But today is just going to be us two. We're going to go back over over the monsterverse, but for today's two topics, it's going to be over the big major news and of a big anniversary that just happened here recently. So are you ready to get started?
I'm ready to get started, and let's keep the chaos to a minimum.
For today's topics, we got two of them. As you can tell on the screen, it's been 70 years since the Toho franchise has started, and they just greenlit for a new Godzilla film by Toho themselves, not Legendary Entertainment, even though we know that a new film is going to come out in the next couple years. But we're going to be talking about Toho today and possibly the sequel to Godzilla -1. So for our first topic today, we're just going to talk about the 70th anniversary of Godzilla. I want to let you go ahead. You start this conversation off.
As part of the 70th anniversary, Toho Productions has produced a new video, Godzilla 70 Years Strong. I would encourage you to go to YouTube and see this video. It is an awesome introduction and a summary of the many phases of Godzilla over the many years. And I know as Godzilla fans, you will be energized and excited to see this as we were.
Yeah, pretty much. I completely agree. Yeah. It's cool to show how it's cool to see how the video shows like all the movies they've had, how it started in 1954 all the way to Godzilla -1 in 2023.
And Godzilla -1 without color, the black and white version. I would encourage you to ingest that too. Eat that movie. Get it in you. It's Godzilla in black and white, as it should be.
Yes, it was made in 1954. Godzilla -1 is based off of the 1954 movie.
Which brings us to the next topic. If Godzilla -1 takes you before 1954, then what is Toho's next move?
So
are they going to bring on Godzilla -1/2?
I don't think it's going to be -1/2. No, I don't think so. But as you can see on the screen, Toho greenlits a new film. I got an example up there. I just found what comes next to -2. I do not know if it's going to be called -2. Just using it as an example. The director is going to be staying the same as the one who did Godzilla -1.
Takashi Yamazuki.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name because I will get it wrong. What do you think is going to happen in the next one? Is it going to be a sequel? Is it going to be based off of last movie? Or is it going to start a new timeline or a new monster like verse, like what Legendary does? But is it going to start like a chapter, like a different story of Godzilla?
I don't think it can divert too far, Gabe. What I would think this would be, it would be a bridge. Just as Godzilla -1 was a prequel that set the stage for the original Godzilla, then this next one should be some kind of tie, some kind of tether, if you will, to the Godzilla saga over the 70 years. Now, there are many characters that have been in Godzilla over the 70 years.
Right.
Other kaijin and
Kaiju times.
Kaiju times many. But we have to think about also the hints we were given in Godzilla -1. And
what would that be?
Well, they would be like the G cells in Noriko's neck at the end of Godzilla -1. And that leads to a lot of questions. It opens up a lot of things. I mean, you have to wonder, does this cause her to mutate? Does it cause her to be a relative to Godzilla so that he recognizes the relationship? Is Godzilla drawn to its own G cells, and that will be the cause that he might come back to Tokyo? Do you think there is a possibility that because Noriko has G cells, it will open up a line of communication between her and Godzilla in the same fashion that the tiny princesses communicate with Mothra?
No, I do not think so.
Okay, that's a definitive answer. No.
No, I don't think that's any correlation.
You don't think we should explore that?
No, I do
Blind
not.
alley?
No.
Dead end?
Yes, that's very much a dead end.
Okay, well, let's forget you heard that.
Yeah, okay. My thoughts too. I think it will be a sequel because, like you said, there's a lot of questions that are going into this next film. Exactly, you already brought up whoever the girl who has that stuff growing on her neck. I already forgot her name. What are they gonna do next? Is it just gonna be another solo film? Is he gonna rampage or stuff again through Tokyo, Japan, stuff like that, or are they gonna bring in another time and go off of what they've already done 70 years ago and bring in like one new
Godzilla
time in?
without Tokyo, that is kind of devoid of purpose. Godzilla has one purpose, and that's to destroy Tokyo.
I don't think that's the one
Godzilla,
goal.
that's central to Godzilla's thinking. I would think perhaps the other people that survived the attack in Godzilla -1 that may also be infested and infected with the G cells like Noriko.
Yeah.
I think that might cause Godzilla to have mercy upon his little relatives and spare
relatives.
Tokyo. Yes.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think that's how I don't think that's how it's gonna work.
You don't think Godzilla works like that?
No.
Godzilla knows who he's kin to. If you look forward to the
It's
future,
radiation. I don't think that's how. It's just radiation because when everyone like
there's
because he didn't get
DNA.
it-
There's DNA in it.
Yes, because radiation can do a whole bunch of different stuff to you. That's why when you have MRIs and stuff like that, you got to wear protective stuff because of the radiation. But yeah, when everybody there in Tokyo or Japan, when he shot his atomic blast off, when he got pushed out of the way, it didn't affect him. But everybody else that it hit, it could have also done some to other people. We just didn't see in the film.
Do you think perhaps that some of the other people mutated and so that Godzilla came back? Oh my goodness. That was an intervention to stop me from delivering my next theory. Do you think it's possible, because of Noriko's mutation from the G cell, that possible that her next child or her first child might be Godzuki, Godzilla's son?
Well, after that, no, we'll be right back after this quick break.
This is something that also occurred to me because the folks in Japan are so adverse to radiation. Do you think they will round up all the survivors of Godzilla's attack that are contaminated with G cells and isolate them on Odo Island?
That's actually a very good
That would
point.
be tragic.
Well, that's actually a good point I never thought of because in the movie, you just only thought about her at the very end when they showed her. But you didn't think about, is there a lot of other people that got affected?
There were many survivors, I'm sure.
Because like we
Perhaps because of the G cells.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's probably why she survived. So that's what I'm saying in the next film, right before we go back to the 70th anniversary real quick. Do we think there's going to be other times involved? Do we think that there's going to be other times involved?
I'd like to talk about
these people
I'd like to talk about the 70th anniversary, but I'm so immersed
in the next film.
in what happens.
Yeah.
But as far as the 70th anniversary, now is the time to go and glut yourself. Fill yourself with all the Godzilla movies there are. One after another. Make this a Godzilla 70.
Basically, out of all the movies that have been released in these 70 years, I want to let us know in the comments section, what is your favorite movie that has been released in these past 70 years? Could it have been the Millennium era, the Reiwa era, the Showa era? Which movie do you think has been the best movie you've ever seen? Please let us know in the comments section down below. We would love to know.
I won't answer for you. You must answer for yourself.
So yeah, yes, they have to answer for themselves. Yeah, that's right. So to finish up this video and stuff, I want to say, what is your favorite movie so far? Or what, like, we've already made a short about this, but what is your favorite movie out of the 70 years? And of course, we got a lot more movies to come, but right now, what is your favorite movie that you have seen?
Right now, today, I can't remember.
Yes, he can. So
I'd say Godzilla -1 in the black and white version has to be one of my favorites over the last decade.
yeah, because the 1954 one, because that one's like special too, because that's what started everything. That's what started it, and that's what got the franchise going.
And the original Godzilla in 1954, I'll never forget the moment. It's frozen in my mind when Godzilla looked over the ridge on the island and frightened the islanders and Raymond Burr.
for the first time ever.
For the first time.
Oh yeah, when he looked.
The first glimpse we got of Godzilla, and he had these evil eyes.
Yeah, when he looked right over the cliff, when you only saw like
They
his
look
head
like
above. Yeah.
they look like ping pong ball eyes, you know.
Yeah, that's how.
And he did the teeth like this.
Yeah.
So
The guy in the suit, we'll call it that. The head
I don't think it was a guy in a suit. It was Godzilla. It had to be. A guy in a suit could not have frightened me like that.
Oh, really?
Really?
Really? Okay.
You know,
Well,
I've been to parades where they had these big-headed mascots. They didn't scare me either. I knew it was somebody in a suit.
well, I think that's how they recorded it in the
And here's the
1950s.
other thing. A guy in a suit could not have towered above that ridge and looked down on those people. Not big enough.
You know, I'm going to let you believe that. We'll go with that. Now I'm going to give my movie. So I think probably one of my favorite movies of all time is Godzilla versus Destroyer, because how it ends off that era and leads it to a whole other one. But yeah,
I'd still like to see Jet Jaguar again.
okay, that's a really good one too. I would love to see them introduce him in either like if Toho could release him again, because they
Have they got the rights to Jet Jaguar?
Yeah, because they
Have
started
they got
out,
the
yeah.
rocket fuel to power Jet Jaguar? Because that's not a guy in a suit.
It's a robot.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll see that in the next film, or see if the MonsterVerse gets the right to show him in the next film. That's been our video for today, going over the 70th anniversary of Godzilla and the franchise that Toho started, and the MonsterVerse is doing right now, and the new sequel of Godzilla -1 coming out in hopefully the next couple years. That's been our video for today. Do you have any closing thoughts you might want to say?
If I could make Godzilla sound, or if I couldn't, but I lip synced it, could you add it into this video?
Okay, well, I guess we're ending this video off here. We will see y'all next time for another video on the Time Center podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank y'all.